Cristiano Ronaldo, the king of Portugal. For decades, Portugal produced legends, from Eusebio's unstoppable brilliance to Paulo Futor's flair and Luis Figo's elegance. But only one man would rise above them all, the one who would rewrite the nation's history. Before Cristiano Ronaldo, Portugal had qualified for just 3 of 17 World Cups and 3 of 11 European Championships, without ever lifting a single trophy. Then came CR7 and everything changed. 5 World Cups, 6 straight European Championships, and 3 historic titles that transformed Portuguese football forever. This is Memories of Football, and this is the incredible story of how Cristiano Ronaldo became the king of Portugal. The debut, 2003. It all began on August 20th, 2003. An 18-year-old from Madeira, freshly signed by Manchester United, made his international debut under coach Luis Felipe Scolari in a friendly against Kazakhstan. Back then, he wasn't CR7 yet. He was just a hungry kid chasing a dream. Coming off the bench to replace his idol and captain, Luis Figo, Ronaldo made his first mark in the red and green of Portugal. The match ended 1-0 with a goal from Simeo, but for Ronaldo, this was the beginning of something far greater. As he adapted to life in the Premier League, Scolari kept faith in him. Just 2 months later, Cristiano earned his first start for Portugal, and with each appearance, his confidence and influence grew. Portugal hosted the European Championship in 2004, and the nation was filled with hope. But in the opening match, disaster struck. Greece shocked the world, beating the hosts 2-1. Ronaldo, who had given away a penalty, managed to score Portugal's only goal that day, a small sign of what was to come. From that moment, the young winger refused to look back. He assisted Rui Costa in a 2-0 win over Russia and earned his place as a starter for the rest of the tournament. Portugal advanced to the quarterfinals after defeating Spain 1-0, setting up a dramatic clash against England. The game went to penalties. Beckham missed. Ricardo made the save barehanded. Portugal moved on to the semi-finals against the Netherlands. There, the teenager from Madeira scored with a trademark header, leading his country to a 2-1 victory and their first ever major final. But destiny had other plans. In a cruel twist, Greece once again stunned Portugal in the final. Caristia's header silenced the Estadio de Luz, and tears rolled down the faces of a nation. Despite the heartbreak, one thing was clear: a star had been born. Cristiano Ronaldo, at just 19, was named to the team of the tournament. Portugal had found its new leader, the one who would carry them to glory. Cristiano Ronaldo, the rise of a leader, 2004 to 2010. Despite being only 19, Cristiano Ronaldo's impact on the national team was undeniable. That same summer, he represented Portugal at the 2004 Athens Olympics, even managing to score. But it was a forgettable tournament for the young squad. Portugal finished last in their group, losing all 3 matches. Still, coach Luis Felipe Scolari never lost faith in his prodigy. Ronaldo remained a regular call-up until tragedy struck. In 2005, just before a friendly against Russia, Cristiano received the worst news of his life. His father had passed away. Overcome with emotion, he broke down in tears, but chose to play anyway, in his father's honor. That moment of pain would forge his character forever. As months passed, Ronaldo matured into an undisputed starter for the national team, ready to take on the world. 2006 World Cup, the Battle of Nuremberg. At just 21 years old, Ronaldo arrived in Germany for his first World Cup. He scored his first ever goal on football's biggest stage in a win over Iran. But the real test came in the round of 16, a brutal clash remembered as the Battle of Nuremberg against the Netherlands. The match was chaos, for red cards, endless fouls, blood, bruises, and broken tempers. Ronaldo was kicked off the field injured, but his fighting spirit never faded. He returned in the quarterfinals to face England, and once again, he stole the spotlight. After provoking the dismissal of his Manchester United teammate Wayne Rooney, Ronaldo calmly slotted home the decisive penalty in the shootout, sending Portugal to their first World Cup semi-final in 40 years. They would fall 1-0 to Zidane's France, finishing 4th overall. But for Ronaldo, it was a defining chapter. When he returned to England, he faced relentless criticism from the British press, who labeled him arrogant and untrustworthy after the Rooney incident. But Cristiano didn't break, he evolved. Under Sir Alex Ferguson's guidance at Manchester United, he transformed from a flashy winger into a goal-scoring machine. By 2008, Ronaldo had conquered Europe, winning the Champions League, and inheriting the iconic number 7 shirt once worn by his idol Luis Figo. With Figo retired, Ronaldo officially stepped into the role of Portugal's leader, the face of a new generation. Expectations were sky-high heading into Euro 2008. But despite scoring once, Portugal were eliminated in the quarterfinals by Germany. Still, Cristiano's performances that year earned him the 2008 Ballon d'Or, his first and the start of an era. In the summer of 2009, he signed for Real Madrid, where a new rivalry with Lionel Messi would ignite one of football's greatest eras. But not everyone embraced him. In Spain, sections of the media painted him as arrogant, self-centered, and incapable of showing up in big games. Once again, Cristiano had to prove them wrong, this time on the world stage. 2010 World Cup, South Africa. Cristiano led Portugal into the 2010 World Cup under coach Carlos Queiroz. But this was a very different team, organized, defensive, and cautious to a fault. Ronaldo, now captain and global superstar, found himself trapped in a system that couldn't unleash his true power. The group stage saw moments of brilliance, but also frustration. Portugal advanced, but the spark that had defined Ronaldo's rise seemed to be dimmed by the team's tactical limitations. Still, even in disappointment, he carried the badge with pride. Because for Cristiano Ronaldo, failure was never the end. It was only the beginning of another comeback. Cristiano Ronaldo, from heartbreak to glory, 2010 to 2016. Portugal's 2010 World Cup run started strong. They cruised through the group stage, crushing North Korea 7-0, drawing with Ivory Coast and holding Brazil. But in the round of 16, they met the future champions, Spain. Despite a controversial offside goal deciding the match, Spain's dominance was undeniable. Portugal were out, and Ronaldo left the tournament frustrated with just one goal to his name. The disallowed masterpiece. Criticism came pouring in from every corner. Pundits questioned his leadership, his attitude, even his commitment. And then came the moment of redemption. A friendly match against Spain months later. Portugal humiliated the world champions with a stunning 4-0 win. Ronaldo was electric, producing one of the greatest solo plays of his career, beating defenders, rounding the keeper, and chipping the ball into the net. But it didn't count. The referee ruled it offside. Still, the message was clear. Cristiano Ronaldo and Portugal were back. Portugal reached Euro 2012 through the playoffs. And this time they looked sharper, stronger, and more united. They were drawn into the group of death alongside Germany, Denmark, and the Netherlands. After a narrow loss to Germany, the team bounced back. Ronaldo took charge, scoring twice against the Netherlands and heading home the winner against the Czech Republic in the quarterfinals. Portugal were alive, and their captain was unstoppable. But once again, fate had other plans. In the semifinals, they met Spain. After a tense 120 minutes, the match went to penalties. Ronaldo, who was set to take the fifth kick, never got the chance. Spain sealed the win before his turn came. For Ronaldo, it was another heartbreak, but also another lesson. He wasn't just a star anymore. He was a leader, the heartbeat of a nation. Portugal's path to the 2014 World Cup ran through the playoffs once again, this time against Sweden. It became a duel for the ages. Cristiano Ronaldo versus Zlatan Ibrahimovic. In the first leg in Lisbon, Ronaldo scored the winner. In the return leg in Stockholm, he delivered one of the greatest performances of his international career, a devastating hat-trick that silenced the Swedish crowd and secured Portugal's ticket to Brazil. It was pure brilliance, the kind of performance that wins Ballon d'Ors. And it did. Cristiano claimed the 2013 Ballon d'Or, his second, confirming his status as the best in the world. The 2013-14 season was a masterpiece. Ronaldo became La Liga's top scorer, won the Copa del Rey, and led Real Madrid to the club's long-awaited 10th Champions League title La Decima. He shattered the record for goals in a single campaign with 17 and lifted his second European Cup. He entered the 2014 World Cup at the peak of his powers, but also painfully broken. World Cup 2014, the pain of Brazil. Years of relentless competition had taken their toll. Ronaldo arrived in Brazil with a damaged knee, and though his heart burned with desire, his body could barely keep up. Portugal's campaign unraveled quickly. A brutal 4-0 loss to Germany, a draw against the United States, and a narrow win over Ghana weren't enough to survive the group stage. It was another bitter exit, another headline labeling him cursed with his national team. Despite his greatness, Portugal still had no major trophies, and many began to wonder if Ronaldo's international career would end without glory. By 2016, expectations were low. Coach Fernando Santos had taken over a team that many considered old, slow, and uninspired. Even the fans didn't believe anymore. Portugal stumbled through the group stage, drawing against Iceland, Austria, and Hungary. Everything came down to one final match. Against Hungary, chaos erupted. Every time Portugal scored, Hungary struck back. And just when hope seemed lost, Cristiano Ronaldo delivered. He scored twice, one a brilliant flick, the other a thunderous header, dragging his team from the brink and keeping Portugal alive. For the first time, it wasn't just about Ronaldo's goals. It was about his leadership, his will, and his refusal to surrender. Portugal were through, and destiny was calling. Cristiano Ronaldo's heroics against Hungary had kept Portugal alive, scoring 2 crucial goals to pull the team back from the brink and secure an agonizing 3-3 draw. Against all odds, Portugal advanced to the round of 16, not as group winners, not as runners-up, but as the third-place team with. The match was tense, every pass and tackle charged with intensity. Regulation time ended locked in a stalemate 0-0. Portugal had survived once again, but the real test awaited in extra time and the cruel lottery of penalties. Ronaldo, as captain and talisman, stood tall. Though the pressure was immense, he led his team with courage, inspiring confidence in every teammate. Every move, every pass, every run seemed to carry the weight of a nation's hopes. The path to glory was narrow, treacherous, and uncertain, but for Cristiano Ronaldo and Portugal, it was now or never.